Do you see those pesky crows hovering around your head? I'm pretty sure the tutorial doesn't mention them at all, and they aren't just there for show either. They're actually alerting the hunter to your location. But don't worry, there is a secret trick to get rid of them for good, and keep yourself hidden from the enemy hunter. Want to know how? Let's begin. The tutorial gives you the basic idea of the game, decode cipher machines and escape through the exit gate, or the dungeon I guess. But the dungeon is a complex topic. How do you find it? We'll get to that in a bit, don't worry. For the time being, let's concentrate on the cipher machines. The tutorial tells you to look for the glowing antenna that cipher machines have to find them. But what if you don't want to decode the cipher machine closest to you? What if it's too dangerous or too close to the hunter? There is, however, a simple trick to find cipher machines more easily. They always spawn in the same locations, although there is a set rotation of spawns they can cycle through on each map. If you memorize their locations, you'll have an easier time finding them next time you play on that map. Another suggestion is that cipher machines typically spawn in key areas such as the map center, the shack, or a similar building if there is one on that map, one near each corner of the map, and one near the map's primary feature, such as the tent in Moonlit River Park, the factory in Arms Factory, or the hotel lobby in Chinatown. But what about the dungeon? How do you locate that? Unlike Identity V's main rival Dead by Daylight, dungeon spawns aren't random in IDV. Yes, the dungeon has a fixed number of location points on each map, but it will select one of those at random, so you must check each one individually. If you get close enough, you can actually hear the dungeon once it's open, just as the game says you can. You'll hear a loud wind whooshing sound. The tutorial teaches you how to decode a cipher machine and how to deal with the calibrations that pop up randomly, as if you miss one of these calibrations, it will notify the hunter of your location. But what the tutorial doesn't tell you is how critical it is to hit those perfect calibrations, especially if you are a lower tier player, according to the ranking system of course. Because if you are a worker bee, a hound, an elk, or a mammoth, whose symbols are these ones that I'm showing to you right now, you'll receive a 2% boost to the cipher machine's total progress every time you nail a perfect calibration. That means that for every perfect calibration, you can save 1.62 seconds of decoding time. That might not seem like much, but since typically you get 6 to 7 calibrations per cipher machine, you can save around 10 seconds of decoding every cipher machine that you do. That is huge. So don't miss those perfect calibrations if possible. If you are a higher tier player, you will only receive a 1% boost for each perfect calibration, and you will actually lose progress if you miss a normal calibration, so be careful. By the way, some people have unique interactions with calibrations. Mind's Eye, for example, receives fewer calibrations due to her being a massive decoder with 30% buff anyway. Prospector receives more calibrations, and Composer doesn't even have calibrations. He just plays music like it's Project Sekai or something. One more thing, don't double decode. This means that you should not decode the same cipher machine as another survivor at the same time. At least not for the first 3 to 4 cipher machines. It is in fact slower than decoding independently. Trust me on this one. Assume the hunter is chasing you and you need to kite them. The tutorial tells you to use pallets and windows. However, it doesn't really explain to you how to use them correctly. It just tells you to vault them or to drop them as soon as you possibly can. But that isn't always the best option. Using pallets and windows properly is one of the most difficult things to master in Identity V. But here are some pointers. The first one is don't vault the pallet if the hunter is directly behind you and you're at full health. Don't do it, okay? You will get terror shocked, which means that you'll go down in a single hit. Instead, wait for the hunter to hit you before vaulting. If you're worried about getting hit while vaulting, you should know that there are 2 vaulting speeds, fast vaulting and slow vaulting. This may seem to happen randomly, but it's actually determined by the direction you were looking and the momentum you had before you started your vault. So try to run towards the pallet before vaulting, even if it's a short distance. This will improve the speed and the security of your vault. Check out Psyche's video on his channel for some more advanced vaulting tips. What about dropping pallets? Hunters can still hit you while you're dropping pallets in this game, so the best technique for beginners and intermediate players is to run through the pallet and sidestep behind it. This prevents the hunter from hitting you as they try to predict your drop, but it also allows you to drop the pallet as soon as they finish their attack animation, or if they step into the pallet area, then you can just smack it on their head. Reaction speed is crucial in this situation, so make sure to look at the hunter as soon as you pass through that pallet. Sometimes it's best not to drop that pallet at all. Instead, it's better to just keep running. You can then utilize the pallet again when you need it, as some pallets are really important for certain kiting areas. According to the tutorial, hunters are slower than survivors when vaulting windows. This is true, but not all hunters are made equal. Maybe that is obvious, I don't really know. Each hunter has their own stats that influence vaulting and pallet breaking speeds. Photographer, for example, can vault windows quickly, whereas Soul Weaver, the giant spider, takes forever to do it. Although she should be able to climb over things faster as she is a spider, that doesn't make sense. Hunters also have varying animations for breaking pallets. Some of them can do it quicker than others, and some hunters also take along with them the pallet breaking persona called Destructiveness, if I remember correctly. This might help you, for example, decide where you're going to go next during your kite, somewhere closer or somewhere further away. Let's assume the hunter has caught you and knocked you down. The tutorial shows you that hunters will put you on a rocket chair, and if the progress bar on your avatar gets to 100%, you will be eliminated from that match. But what it doesn't tell you is one of the most crucial things about the rocket chair, the halfway mark. See that orange line on the circle? If you are rescued by a survivor before that line disappears, then the next time the hunter chairs you, you will start the elimination progress from the 50% mark. However, if a survivor saves you after that line has vanished, then you will be eliminated immediately upon being chaired. That's a huge difference, and it should be your top priority when rescuing a teammate. That is the difference between being down 3 times and chaired 3 times versus being down twice and chaired twice. The latter saves a lot of time for the hunter, which implies less time for decoding for the survivors. You can also be eliminated without being on a rocket chair at all. Hunters, for example, can leave you crawling on the ground. This is known as slugging, and it will take you 4 minutes to be eliminated this way, as opposed to the 60 seconds it takes on a rocket chair. Some hunters, such as Soul Weaver, again the same hunter, and Undead have alternate methods of eliminating you, so keep an eye out for them. I have more tips for rescuing and kiting in my other videos, so make sure you go and check them out. Your persona web also plays an important role in your capacity to kite, rescue, and survive. I know it seems a little bit intimidating at first, or very intimidating I would actually say, all of those different nodes on this web, but don't worry about it. The best way to make persona web builds is to look up recommended builds for each character online. Just do a bit of quick research online for each character you play, and you'll get the best results. And hunters, please stop using the listen trait as soon as possible, please. It may appear to be useful at first, but it's really not. If you do need to know where survivors are, just use the tinnitus icon in the top left of your screen, and it will help alert you if there is a survivor within a certain radius of you. Actually 32 meters to be exact. You thought I forgot about the crow trick I promised at the beginning of the video, didn't you? Well, I nearly did, but I remember just in time. If you haven't touched a cipher machine or been chased in the last 80 seconds or 30 seconds if you're the last survivor alive, crows will appear above your head. Unless you are going against Nightmare, in that case he will actually give you crows on purpose as part of his ability. But anyway, to get rid of these normal crows that you get against other hunters, or to stop them from appearing at all, just touch a cipher machine. What if the last cipher machine has already been completed, or the hunter is monitoring the last cipher machine so you can't go and touch them without being found? If you are a survivor who can carry a second item, go and find a chest and rummage around for a syringe. If you're injured, simply begin healing yourself and it will remove and delay your crows indefinitely. You don't even need to heal fully, just a small percentage. If you want to learn some more sneaky tricks in Identity 5, check out this video that's on the screen right now.